foodie. One app for authority is also an IATA, one record pilot for a goal to pull EFTI data from one record API sources. So that's, thank you. Then we have a first question, wonderful visualization. My question is how to relationship between the events shown in one tracker is maintained or built in the federated network?
Let me reread that. I need to think about that while I'm reading it. My question is how the relationship between the events shown in one track is maintained or built in the federated network. Right. So these events, we're all loading and unloading events if you look carefully, or it could be a receipt of goods. So there's multiple events. These events are accessible via the API that we have behind one record. And so if you need to have a certain type of event, you just go directly to the API and you'll get the information back. This links to the semantic model, which defines events. And these are certain types of events.
How they build them.
Yeah, so about the links, that's a really good one because this is linked data. To put it simply, the links are exactly as links on a web page. You create a web page, put links on it, and they stay there. They don't disappear. If you go to the Amazon website and they have links to Black Friday or something, that link is there forever, even if they take the page away. And it's the same here. When you create these structures with these links inside, they will remain forever, even when the page is finished for a long time. So in that sense, there's a strong record also of what happened, how these links are, and we go a lot further in also recording the history of the data behind the links. So these are essentially permanent features, which we will archive at some point, but that's another matter.
Thank you. Is one record also used outside the air cargo sector?
A little bit, and there's nothing stopping it from being that way. What limits it to air cargo is the fact that the semantic model we developed is for air freight. If you would sit down with DCSA and say, hey, let's bring in your semantic model, then one record would do container shipping from one day to the next. You just add in the semantic model and it's ready for that. When I say a little bit is that we are actually working with tracking applications. We are working with DCSA to some extent. We're trying to create exactly those links. So yes, it's not just air freight. It goes a little bit further and we'll see who's interested to go any further with that. But I'm an aviation guy, so I'm not primarily motivated by it.
It's a demo, a lab, so to be applied and reflect on other fields.
Absolutely, so, yeah.
Then Henk, does Cargo IQ fits in what you showed, at least on the air freight part?
So Cargo IQ, for those that haven't heard of it, is an organization that has defined milestones in air freight, and they track how well we perform against these milestones. So if a flight has to arrive at a certain date at a certain time and they're 3 hours late, then they get a bad mark for being 3 hours late. Cargo IQ tracks that entire process. They sit right next to me in my office. So firstly, they know everything that we do. We are currently looking at doing some joint pilots with them as well, in particular for tracking freight movements from a warehouse to an airplane and back again. It may not seem far, but there's lots of steps involved in that. So the answer is it fits extremely well for anyone that wants to use one record in Cargo IQ. That's right. That's the whole thing.
Okay.